Formula One is the greatest sport with the greatest athletes in the world, second only to business and entrepreneurship. I'm Jacob Carlisle. I paid off my house at age 23 and run one of Australia's fastest growing businesses and am a self-proclaimed F1 nut. And in this video, I'm gonna break down the top 5 lessons that I've learned about business and entrepreneurship from being obsessed with Formula One. So starting off in Melbourne with the first lesson, marginal gains win championships. In Formula One, teams obsess over the milliseconds off lap times, the aero wing adjustments in the millimeters and the microsectors within the track sections. It is a game of tiny little improvements that compound over the whole lap, over the whole race to decide who comes out on top. If we relate this back to business, the small 1% improvements across your marketing, across your sales delivery, across your team experience, business culture can make the difference between crazy success or destroying your business. What we've done in our businesses is we've really placed a high importance on being 1% better every day. That means improving the conversations that we have, reviewing and resetting at the end of every week to take stock of what worked, what didn't work, and what we could have done better. We're never satisfied with good enough. There's always that room for extra improvement. For you, practically, this looks like changing your mindset to become 1% better every day. It's about looking for and auditing the little improvements, whether that's in your finances by trying to trim back your spending every single day or increasing your income by that little amount every single day. It's all those little things that add up and compound to a championship winning mindset. Flying off to Suzuka now in Japan for lesson number 2, which is the driver gets the glory, but the team wins the race. In Formula One, you see that the driver is the one who lifts the trophy at the end of the race and wins. However, what you don't see is the thousands of people in the garages, on the track, the mechanics, the strategists, the pit crew, the engineers who put in the work to actually achieve that end result of a race win. You see the driver mainly because they're in the spotlight. You don't see the driver hopping out and changing the tires or adjusting the angle of the rear wing. That's what the engineers, the strategists, the pit crew, that's what they're all there for. They stick to what they're good at and the driver sticks to what they're good at, which is driving really, really fast into those corners and braking late. The best businesses in the world do have their executive team who are often the face of the businesses. However, there are thousands of people who are specialists in what they do that make the business and the machine work the way that it does, similar to an F1 car. In our business, it's exactly the same. We hire specific people for specific roles to do specific tasks that they're really good at and they really enjoy. We've got onshore staff and offshore staff. Offshore staff are excellent at doing the menial, repetitive work, such as databasing, such as saving, filing, organizing information, and onshore staff are really great with dealing with people, doing the negotiation piece, physically visiting properties and inspecting those and meeting with real people. As one of the faces of our business, I'm always super conscious of the fact that our team don't sometimes get the recognition that they deserve for the work that they do. So I make sure that we are sewing into those individual relationships, making sure that their needs and their goals are being met. They're achieving what they want to in their career and in their life as well, without being the face and the public side of the business. For you, this really looks like finding what you're good at and what you really enjoy doing. That's a really hard process and can take some time and some soul searching, but once you find what you love and what you're great at, double down on that. And you don't necessarily need to be the driver that holds the trophy at the end of the day. You don't need to be the face of the business. You can be an important engineer or operator in the background and achieve just as much success that way. Moving on to Monaco, which is lesson number 3, data is the difference between guessing and winning. In Formula One, teams pour over terabytes of data to inform pit strategy, fuel usage, weather changes, and tire degradation. These teams are not just making gut feel decisions, they're making highly informed, data-driven decisions. Applying this to business, the best businesses make data-driven decisions. They do not just go off gut feel and, oh, I think that this is what the customer wants. There seems to be this myth that some of these great entrepreneurs just go off gut feel and vibes, but these guys are highly calculated business machines. They've analyzed the marketing, they've analyzed the product to market fit, they've analyzed where the world is changing to, and they've built a business around that data. In our business, we invest in systems that produce great quality data, not just to inform us about how the market might be performing, but also to inform our clients that is now the best time to sell your property? Is this the best that we can do for rent for your property? We also look at a lot of data internally within our business, such as productivity metrics, which is basically like inputs times what we pay someone to the output that we receive. That way we know that we're teaching them the best way and we're getting the best results and outcomes. For you personally, this can look like shifting from a gut feel to I need to have data to back up the decisions that I make. You need to print out your bank statements and get a highlighter and a calculator out and work that out. Are you making more than you're spending? Even when you're choosing a career or potentially thinking about starting your own business, do some research, do some analysis into your career path, your industry. You need to give yourself undeniable proof using data and research that this is the best path for you. On to lesson number 4 in Silverstone, which is efficiency wins races. The ultimate test to see whether a Formula One team is efficient or not is how quickly you can get a car in and out of the pits. A pit stop is the opportunity to take a very, very quick pause, change the tires and go again to really reset your race strategy, but also give you track advantage over your competitors with fresh tires. The smallest of errors can be the difference between making it on the podium and losing valuable track position and creating an uphill battle for your driver. It can be something as simple as the wheel nut locking when you're putting the new tire on the car and slowing the whole process of the pit stop down, losing valuable track position. This can mean your competitors are going faster per lap and destroying you in the race. When we look at this through a business lens, your internal processes and feedback loops create compounding effects to your efficiency and mean that you can get your job done faster than your competitors. One of the most important parts of our business is all about speed and efficiency. We run a program called Speed to Lead, which is basically whoever gets to the lead first and claims that lead wins the lead. They then get to deal with them, gets to potentially list and then sell their property and makes the commission personally. So speed can make a huge difference in someone's personal income and their personal productivity. When you're trying to get ahead in life, you may be tricked into the thought process that you have to do things differently and you have to do things wildly outside of the box. However, sometimes you just need to do things a little bit quicker and a little bit better. If you're finding something like cooking at home is slowing down progress towards your goals, there's a very easy solution, which is a home delivery service or even getting a healthy version of takeout consistently, as long as you know that you can make that money back by the extra work and extra productivity that you can achieve in the time that you would have been cooking. Happy days. And number 5 is adapt or get lapped in Abu Dhabi. On the racetrack, we see things change all the time, from weather changes to mid-season regulation changes for the cars to technological innovations by other teams. The most agile teams generally win. Ferrari's strategy team have really let the team down, and that's because they haven't stayed agile enough like the Red Bulls, like the Mercedes, like the McLarens. Businesses who say this is the way we've always done things, so this is the way we'll always do things, are destined to be destroyed. In our business, we are led by a changing real estate market all the time, meaning that we have to change our marketing messages, how we deal with clients, and all of our interactions to do with our clients depending on market conditions. So that means we have to stay highly agile and prepared to change with a change in interest rates, with a change in economic conditions, with a change in inflation. We have started adapting hugely to this next generation of AI, integrating this within our business very quickly in order to create efficiencies and really make our lives easier, but also increase the cadence of communication with our clients and change the personalization that someone might receive from us. What this means for you is if you get stuck in a certain way of doing things, you're going to get left behind. Are you just hanging around the same old friends because you've always hung out with them? Are you still living at home because that's all that you know? You need to venture out, you need to try new things, you need to change in order to stay ahead and continue to grow personally, professionally, and just in life generally. So as you can see, I am a Formula One fanatic and I love it. I love spending my spare time watching races, staying up late and enjoying the sport, but also I get so many practical lessons that I can apply in my business and in my life every single day. And I'm pretty sure this video now makes all my F1 tickets tax deductible, right?